What is going on, guys? It is FaZe Simp here, and today I'm just be breaking down our Seattle match. I'm gonna be talking about what kind of went wrong for us, what kind of mistakes we made, and honestly just all around what I think we need to improve on. So without further ado, let's just get right into the video. Leading up to the Seattle match, we were extremely confident going into it just because we still had a pretty good stage one. Just, you know, we kind of just got slammed by Optic in, you know, finals and such. So I feel like we were still really confident going into this match. I just feel like our biggest problem was probably like our teamwork, and I feel like our controls are still very iffy. Even though we won this one, it felt like we shouldn't have. And I don't know, I just feel like overall the series was a series. I mean, we should have 3-0'd at the end of the day, but I also feel like the series like got out of hand after the gap control. So first map up, we had Hardpoint. And I mean, you guys all know this. We're a dominant bow cage team. We were actually really surprised Seattle played us on this. I'm not sure why they didn't. I didn't think, honestly, we didn't think we were gonna play this map for a little bit in stage 2, just because of how we've been beating teams on it. But overall, I just feel like we play this map really good most of the time. We were getting like hella scrap time, and we were just breaking like every like setup Seattle had. There wasn't really there were a couple hills, but there were a lot of important hills where we would like get the last 20 and then they'd rotate early and they'd insta broken. And when you play for those early rotations, you definitely can't be getting insta broken because you're giving up a lot of scrap time to hold the new time. So if you're gonna early rotate, you gotta make sure you hold it, otherwise like you're putting yourself in a really deep hole. And I mean, that's kind of what ended up happening. I feel like we were in control of this bow cage the entire map, the entire way through. Alec got a streak at some point, which helped us break a P4 hill, which otherwise is it's usually mixy, but I feel like the streak helped us get a pretty decent amount of time on it because we got a 4 dead with the streak, and we just ended up spawn trapping him for the entire time. But overall, we just did a really good job of getting P1 time and breaking those hills, and we ended up winning 250 to 165. There wasn't anyone who really went crazy. I don't think. I think it was pretty even in the kills. I think we're a really good bow cage team in the senses of being able to get hill time off of the kills, if that makes sense, because bow cage is a really small map, and I feel like a lot of teams, once they get kills, are kind of scared to get in time because of how close people are spawning. So I think we do a really good job of that, but that takes us to a 1-0 lead in the series going into a Tuscan search. And honestly, this is probably the hardest map for us to lose in the series. So let's just get into it and talk about it. So yeah, going to the Tuscan search, we've had a really big issue on this map recently of being able to win an offense. And I don't know what happened to us on this map, but it honestly just feels like we aren't like, I don't know if we're not working together enough on certain situations, or if we're not like, I don't know, doing things fast enough, if that makes sense. We're making Tuscan S&D a very hard map for us to win right now because of all the rounds we keep throwing away. I mean, I don't know. There's just so many situations where we'll have a blood and we'll lose the round, or we'll get like 2v4'd, which can never happen. And I mean, right now on Tuscan, we just can't win an offense. And on this map that is super offense heavy, I feel like if we can't win an offense, then there's definitely a huge issue in our game, and I feel like a lot of teams keep exposing us on it. But I also think we kind of threw this Tuscan in a sense, like we lost 1 or 2 2v4s, and we ended up losing around 11. And I mean, we probably lost another 1 or 2 3v4s, and I don't know, when you're getting all these man-up situations and you're losing the round, it's just like, it just can't be happening. And I mean, I understand offenses are still pretty hard to win, even if you're like man up. But I just feel like we're doing a really bad job of like being fast and instant on like situational plays once we get that blood. But I feel like we're so close to being like really good in search. I mean, we are really good in search still. I just think we have these moments where we look lost and like not confident. And I don't think we aren't confident. I just think we kind of like, I don't know. It's weird in search. I don't really understand what's happening to us in some of these maps, but I mean, we ended up losing this map round 11, 5-6. Yeah, not much else to say besides we threw a couple 2v4s and we got like a blood every first round, or we got a first blood like every round. So, and this brought us to a very interesting Gavutu control. So now, honestly, this Gavutu control, we've been looking really bad on Gav in matches, but I feel like the map, I don't know if it's us or the map in matches, but I feel like it's being played differently, or like at least slower. I don't know. I feel like in scrims right now we're really good at Gav. Or I feel like we're really good at in control in general on in scrims. So I feel like the struggles we're having in matches right now, we kind of just got to take it match by match and figure it out, because we should have lost this map like 1-3. We should have lost the first round, our first defense, and then the third round we should have lost. I don't know. I feel like with the control update coming in soon-ish, I feel like it'll definitely help us as a control team, because we play more of a traditional control style, where right now it's kind of like TDM for game 5 and you can't really be wasteful with your lives. But I think right now with how the round 5 goes, if you have an offense push that doesn't work, especially on Gav, you have to really consider like not pushing anymore, like 30 seconds or like 45 seconds to like try and save lives for that round 5, because so many teams, or I mean not so many teams, but so many these two maps are like hella defense sided, honestly. Not really Tuscan as much, but it's still pretty defense sided. And I mean, if you can't make a risky play with your life and throw it away because you're scared for round 5, it changes the game a lot. So I think we'll be a lot more consistent in control once the change is made, which is really good for us. But in this particular Gavutu control, we really just never stopped sprinting in some of our situations. We just kept, you know, on defense, A point was about to get capped, we keep hitting A. We wouldn't wait for a teammate to hit something out, like kind of those situational plays where it'll cost you a life or two here and there. You know, those kind of things add up. And I really feel like we're just super close to being like unbeatable in control. Even though it doesn't look like it, I honestly feel that way. And it's just so weird, because I just feel like it's the Vanguard effect, where, you know, you think one thing in scrims, or like you think one thing and it's like the actual opposite. I feel like one of these matches, one of these days, our control's gonna click in a match, and I feel like we're gonna be lights out and just be godlike. So we ended up winning that Gavutu 3-2. We ended up winning the round 5. I think the kills were tied going into the round 5. So I think it went by ticks, or it went by the team that spawned on defense first, and I think that was us. So we ended up getting defense in round 5, and I mean, Gavutu control, we just had them in a demon headlock the entire time in their base. Series is now 2-1 going into a Berlin Hardpoint, and this was probably our worst map of the series, honestly. So yeah, going into this Berlin Hardpoint, we were spawning on the bad side, and right now, I mean, you can win the break on either side, but I feel like good side on Berlin is really good for P1 time. And if you win the side on good side, then for the most part, you probably are gonna hold most of the time, unless you get pieced up somehow. But this Berlin Hardpoint, I felt like we were never really in control of it. You know, even out of the gates, the first P1, we were down like 0 to like 40 or like 0 to 30. You know, not saying that it's too big of a hole, but it just goes to show, you know, how the map started. It doesn't really, you know, it shows that we weren't in control just from the rip. And I think we were messing up a lot of rotations on this map. But I also do think that our philosophy of how we've been playing this has been pretty ass. I think, I mean, very recently we just talked about it as a team, and I think we're playing this map and you know, a couple other maps, not a couple other maps, but like the Hardpoints a little bit differently. And so, I mean, we've only had a day or two of practicing that way, and it's been feeling really good. And I think this is a way more consistent way for us to play. So, you know, I'm actually super excited to play more Hardpoints in the future. But this Berlin, our biggest Berlin problem right now is we can't hold a fire hill, a train hill, and we can't get any time on a P5. And if we're getting trapped the entire time, not getting any time on all those hills, like every hill in Berlin is a money hill for the most part. And if we can't get anything from any money hill, we're literally going to get just stomped out. And that's honestly what happened. We ended up losing this map 250 to 160. And we threw a P2 rotation at the beginning. They had streaks, so like the train hills were just kind of chalked in general. So it's really just a fire. Like, you need to be able to hold a P2 or P3 because of how many money hills there actually are. Because if you're not trading money hills, then it's just, you know, free 60s going to the other team the entire time. But yeah, it was I don't know, this map was out of our control the entire time. We lost 250 to 160, and that brought us to a Berlin game 5, which honestly I felt good about going into it, but I feel like this was another map that just really wasn't going our way at all. Going into this game 5, I mean, I feel like right now we have a pretty good understanding of what we want to do in search. I just think we have a bad I think we just have a bad like mentality going into summer. Not mentality, but like I feel like there's some strats we should be doing a lot more than we do, if that makes sense. And I don't know, on this Berlin, I feel like we were getting blooded a lot on the map. I feel like we were in 3 or 4 situations, and I also feel like we were letting them plant B a lot. And B is a pretty hard bomb site to retake, so when you're kind of, I don't know, when you're playing defense on this map, you let them plant B, it's like you kind of got to act fast and clear everything. Otherwise, they're just going to play in all the win spots and just check bomb from there. So we lost this map 2-6, and there's only really 1 or 2 rounds where we were actually getting kills. I feel like there were a couple rounds where we lost like a 1v2 or like a 2v2. But I just feel like right now, sometimes in search, our mid-game adjustments and kind of like our aggressiveness together is like pretty bad. I feel like we let people take control of the map and let people do whatever they want. And in a game like search, if the people can clear out the map, they can just pinpoint where you are. And it just makes things that much harder. So there were a couple rounds too, I feel like we were on different pages. Like one person wanted to do one thing, another person wanted to do another. And when you're not on the same page as your teammates and you're kind of just, I don't know, playing like an 8s kind of search and destroy, where it's not team oriented, you're going to get, you know, team shot by the other team. You're going to get team nated because every other team is doing team oriented stuff. And if we're being, if we're making individual plays as much as we are, it's never going to work. So we ended up losing the series 2-3. Honestly, it's not a good thing, but it was definitely a good wake-up call for us. I think it was good for us to have the team talk that we had. I think we kind of ironed out a pretty decent amount of our mistakes, and I think with the control change coming, I think we'll be our respawns in total will be getting a lot better. And I don't know, I'm just super excited to continue stage 2. I feel like even with this 0-1 start, I feel like it doesn't go to show how good we still are. And I mean, I'm just excited to play more COD. So our next match is actually against London. Now, this is a team I feel like that can match well against us. I feel like London have a very orthodox kind of aggressiveness, kind of like pacing. And I know we kind of slammed them at the major, but I don't think that match went to show how good they are. So I think if both teams play how they should be, this London match will probably be a banger, honestly. You know, there's a good chance we can come out the fire and just 3-0 them or 3-1 them. But I do think London is a decent team, so I do think it'll be a good match. But hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you sub to the channel. Anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of the video today. If you did enjoy it, make sure you drop a like in the video. If you're new here, make sure you sub to the channel. I try to do a little bit of these recaps after every match, after every, you know, 1 or 2 matches at least, because some weekends we have 1, some weekends we have 2. And it's just a lot easier to do it when I come back home from Atlanta. So let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about my talking points today. I actually went through the match prior to recording today and wrote down a little bit little bullet points about what happened. It wasn't too specific, but let me know if it did help kind of tell the story, I guess. I don't really know what the word is to like direct it, I guess. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be the end of the video here. Hopefully you did enjoy, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.